Back inside, he rewinds the camera. Footage shows him sleeping, filmed from the corner of the ceiling. He never placed a camera there. At 3:12 a.m., his sleeping body rises, walks to the mirror, whispers something indecipherable, then lies back down. He checks his arms. Faint bruises shaped like fingers. In the bathroom, the mirror now reflects two versions of him. One breathing slower, darker eyes. The reflection smiles first. We're almost checked out. That night, Liam feels pressure behind his skull, like static building in bone. Every light flickers to his pulse. He hears the hotel breathing through the vents, inhaling when he exhales. He records an audio note. I think this place reacts to observation. It loops moments, feeds on attention. In playback, his voice overlaps with another whisper. And attention is possession. Driven by dread curiosity, he enters the forbidden west corridor. Air thickens. Walls bow inward as if the building itself inhales. Doors are unnumbered, only small mirrors where numbers should be. Each mirror shows a fragment of another time. A maid cleaning, a couple arguing, a man hanging from a chandelier. When Liam touches one, the reflection ripples and pulls his hand through for a second. His fingertips come back wet with ink. On the floor, someone has scrawled in looping handwriting. The hotel writes through us. He discovers a locked archive office. Inside, reels of film labeled by year, each reel bearing the same final frame. Room 214, bed unmade, no occupant. He threads one reel through the projector. The film stutters. Guests laughing in 1937, lightning flash, blackout, then the same guests, decades older, sitting lifeless in identical poses. Behind him, a whisper rises. They never left. He turns, Isolde, the painted woman, now standing in the doorway, eyes reflecting projector light. The hotel remembers, she says. It keeps those who seek to understand it. Liam's breath trembles. He sets his camera on the tripod, documenting first impressions. He mutters, but his own voice plays back from the hallway a half-second later, echoing like a mimic. He peers out. Empty hall. Yet his recorder light blinks. Playback reveals the same sentence, but layered with another voice saying it with him, slightly off-pitch. At exactly 12:03 a.m., the temperature drops. Every metal surface fogs. The hallway clock ticks backward for 10 seconds, then stops. From the bathroom mirror, condensation shapes words. Stay for the night. He wipes it away, only to reveal the same phrase carved beneath the glass. He stumbles back, knocking over the camera. The lens keeps filming, upside down, as a shadow passes across the ceiling like ink spreading underwater. Morning. Light pours through torn curtains. Relief until he checks the date on his phone. November 3rd. Again. His footage shows him exploring all night, yet the battery percentage hasn't changed. He rushes downstairs. In the lobby, dust patterns are identical, untouched. The ledger glows faintly, same entry. He flips back through pages. Every name before his is the same handwriting. All entries end with checked out, pending. A faint hum resonates through the walls, like a deep organ note. He follows it into the dining hall. Tables are set for breakfast. Silver covers polished, cups steaming faintly though the room is empty. Portraits of former guests line the walls. Faces blurred except the eyes, bright and wet. As he walks past, each head turns slightly toward him. One portrait, a woman in 1920s attire, smiles wider, paint cracking at the edges. Who are you? He whispers. The lips in the painting move. You've stayed here before. He runs. The exit corridor folds in on itself. Doors multiplying, signs switching directions. Every hallway leads back to room 214. Back inside, he rewinds the camera. Footage shows him sleeping, filmed from the corner of the ceiling. He never placed a camera there. At 3:12 a.m., his sleeping body rises, walks to the mirror, whispers something indecipherable, then lies back down. He checks his arms. Faint bruises shaped like fingers. In the bathroom, the mirror now reflects two versions of him. one breathing slower, darker eyes. The reflection smiles first. We're almost checked out. That night, Liam feels pressure behind his skull, like static building in bone. Every light flickers to his pulse. He hears the hotel breathing through the vents, inhaling when he exhales. He records an audio note. I think this place reacts to observation. It loops moments, feeds on attention. In playback, his voice overlaps with another whisper. And attention is possession. Driven by dread curiosity, he enters the forbidden west corridor. Air thickens. Walls bow inward as if the building itself inhales. Doors are unnumbered, only small mirrors where numbers should be. Each mirror shows a fragment of another time. A maid cleaning, a couple arguing, a man hanging from a chandelier. When Liam touches one, the reflection ripples and pulls his hand through for a second. His fingertips come back wet with ink. On the floor, someone has scrawled in looping handwriting. The hotel writes through us. He discovers a locked archive office. Inside, reels of film labeled by year, each reel bearing the same final frame. Room 214, bed unmade, no occupant. He threads one reel through the projector. The film stutters. Guests laughing in 1937, lightning flash, blackout. Then the same guests, decades older, sitting lifeless in identical poses. Behind him, a whisper rises. They never left. He turns, Isolde, the painted woman, now standing in the doorway, eyes reflecting projector light. The hotel remembers, she says. It keeps those who seek to understand it. Then she blinks out, leaving only the smell of smoke and lavender. Exhausted, Liam tries to leave. The lobby doors open to the same courtyard, but the sky is wrong, too still, colorless. He walks 50 steps forward, finds himself back at the fountain. A time loop, spatially sealed. The hotel is a labyrinth folded inside its own memory. He drops to his knees, whispering to the recorder. If anyone finds this, the date will always read November 3rd. Don't enter room 214. The fountain water begins to ripple in rhythm with his heartbeat. Within the ripples, he sees himself arriving, headlights cutting fog. The same moment replaying from above, like film burning in reverse. The sound of the bell echoes again. Once, twice. The ledger's pen lifts by itself, writing, checked in November 3rd, Liam Cross, room 214. Checked out, pending. He screams, but no sound escapes. The hotel inhales. Darkness floods upward like ink. Every recording ends the same way. Every investigation resets. And somewhere inside Hallowmere, a new guest arrives at 11:42 p.m., whispering the same first words. Consciousness doesn't vanish when the body dies. Sometimes it just relocates. Into walls, into memories, into rooms built to remember. It's November 3rd. Again. The footage begins abruptly, no static, no intro. Just Liam Cross sitting at the desk in room 214. He's pale, distant. Behind him, the window shows no view. Just moving shadows, as if the outside world has been erased. He reads from a notebook. This is log number 7. I don't know if the previous 6 even exist anymore. Every night ends the same way. But I wake up in a slightly different version of this room. He glances toward the camera, then at his hands. One trembling, faintly translucent under light. The hotel has begun to bleed through his perception. When he blinks, the wallpaper pulses with veins. He hears whispers under the floorboards. Fragmented sentences repeating fragments of his own words, days, thoughts. He realizes the hotel is mimicking him. In the corner, the mirror vibrates faintly. He approaches, and the reflection shows him from a second ago, delayed. Not a mirror anymore. A recording of a moment still happening somewhere else in the loop. In his rational moments, Liam builds a theory that the Hallowmere Hotel is sentient, a consciousness that feeds on self-awareness. Every person who studies it, films it, or believes it exists becomes part of its memory system. He draws diagrams on the wall. Arrows looping inward, phrases circled. Observer equals recorded. Time as an echo chamber. Each guest equals neuron. Hotel equals brain. But the words start rearranging themselves overnight. By morning, the wall reads, "I dreamed through you." He stares at the writing. His handwriting, but curved differently, almost elegant, almost feminine. Later that night, Liam hears the sound of a typewriter. Faint, rhythmic. From the west wing again. He follows it barefoot, camera rolling. Each keystroke echoes like a heartbeat. He finds an office door half open. Inside, a woman in sepia tones sits before a typewriter. She looks solid, but her motions stutter, loop, rewind. The paper she types on curls and burns from the edges, yet never turns to ash. He whispers, "Who are you?" She answers without turning, "I write the ending of those who cannot leave." The typewriter keys punch again, this time spelling Liam Cross repeatedly, line after line, until the ink runs black. She turns her head. Her eyes are hollow light. "You'll make a beautiful paragraph." The sound cuts to silence. When the light flickers, the room is empty. Only the typewriter remains. But one key R is still depressed. He lifts it and finds a small piece of skin caught beneath it. The loops tighten. Time fragments. Liam begins hearing his own voice narrating ahead of him, as if he's walking inside a documentary already edited and playing. Liam enters the corridor. He hesitates. He knows something is behind the next door. He spins around, no one. The voice continues, detached. And yet, he opens it. He does. He can't help it. The room beyond is filled with dozens of television screens. Each one plays a different version of him, arriving at the hotel, dying, waking, looping. In every screen, the same whisper plays under the footage. "You've stayed here before." He smashes a monitor. The screen bleeds. Black liquid seeps onto the floor and forms a reflection. His reflection, smiling back. Through scattered flashbacks, we see fragments of Hallowmere's past. The architect, Dr. Isolde Hallowmere, building the structure not as a hotel, but as an experimental consciousness archive. Guests were volunteers, each room designed to record emotion, memory, fear. When the landslide hit in 1952, the experiment ended physically, but the mental network persisted. Every soul trapped mid-recording remained in psychological stasis. And now, decades later, the system has found new data sources, anyone who investigates. The narrator murmurs, "Memory seeks continuity, and continuity requires new hosts." Liam begins losing hours. He finds himself in the ballroom with candles lit, though he remembers lighting none. Music plays from a gramophone, an old waltz warped in reverse. The air thickens. Shadows spin around him like dancers. Each shadow brushes against him, cold, wet, leaving faint handprints on his arms. A mirror on the grand piano reflects him differently, wearing a 1920s suit. He looks older, eyes hollow. The reflection speaks before he does. "Welcome back, Mr. Hallowmere." The realization crashes. He's not just trapped. He's being rewritten into the hotel's origin memory, absorbed into the lineage of its creator. Midway through his breakdown, Liam sets up every camera he has. He tries to document proof of the loops. When he plays back the footage, every timeline plays simultaneously. Overlaid versions of himself screaming, sleeping, writing, decaying. His voice overlaps dozens of times until words become indistinguishable. Suddenly, all screens freeze on a single frame. Room 214, empty. From the speakers, a whisper. Loop complete. Then static. When he looks up, the hallway has changed shape again, stretching endlessly, filled with open doors leading only to the same room. He walks through one, and finds himself entering room 214 again, filming his own entrance, his own voice repeating the same line. November 3rd, 11:42 p.m. "My name is Liam Cross." A soft knock at the door. It's Isolde, the painted woman, now fully real, eyes burning like candlelight. She gestures toward the camera. "You've recorded enough. The hotel knows you now." He steps back, trembling. "What happens to me?" She tilts her head. "You'll remember, for us. You'll become the room." She places her hand on his chest. Cold electricity courses through him. The light bulb above flares white. When his vision clears, she's gone. But the walls of room 214 now pulse faintly, as if breathing with his heartbeat. He screams, but the sound comes from the ceiling speaker, not his throat. He realizes he's being recorded from within himself. The last segment of footage shows the hotel from outside, an impossible angle like the camera floats through the fog. Inside each window, Liam stands, hundreds of versions, each repeating a different gesture. Some writing, some pacing, some staring at the lens. The narrator, no longer Liam, but something using his tone, concludes, "Every guest leaves a copy. Every copy builds another corridor." The Hallowmere Hotel expands not through space, but through minds. Lightning flashes, and the building multiplies window by window across the horizon. Weeks later, a new investigator arrives. Female voice, calm, determined. She introduces herself to camera. November 3rd, 11:42 p.m. My name is Dr. Isla Cross. I'm here to continue my brother's research. The camera pans across the lobby. The ledger flips open by itself. Fresh ink forms the words. Checked in November 3rd, Isla Cross. Room 214. Checked out. Pending. Bell rings. Rain begins. The loop restarts. If you've reached this point, you've already entered. The Hallowmere Hotel exists where your attention lingers. And now you've stayed here before. Subscribe to Machine Malice for haunted narratives that breathe, think, and dream with you.